High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghostin holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghostin, Colt, touchdown!
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Barrett finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown, Bowers, touchdown, Bowie!
Out of the stretch. Sky towards left center field. The wind is carrying it. Is it gone? It is! Jackson Irons with a 2-run shot over the left center field fence. He'll plate Wharton, and it's 6-4. There's still an insurance run that is about to get driven in on this base hit. Flores delivers the insurance run. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go! Patomeco with the pass. Miralrio has a bit of a look. Shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions.
Scroll down.
Energetic Media Solutions.
No. Scroll down. Yeah, pregame, John Wade 1. Go back up. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, go ahead and play. Yeah. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pregame show presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. Zach Arnold, my pops Doug, on a beautiful Monday for high school baseball. Pops, can you hear me okay?
I can.
You've got me in the ear. I having a hard time hearing myself. LD Bell has been such a gracious host for us today, giving us space in the press box. We want to first and foremost say thank you to them for getting us into such a wonderful space at a beautifully renovated venue. We're excited for this 70-degree temp, clear blue skies. It's a great day for baseball.
Yeah, we had a nice time over the weekend out in Rockwall, and we're just so excited to be back behind the mics and running baseball again, seeing the boys out there playing the game. It's just a lot of fun.
Both teams come in with an 0-2 record, both of them in tightly contested contests. Both of them feel like they've got something to prove. So we're really excited to be bringing this ball game to you all. They're already out there taking warm-ups. National anthem has concluded. We're just ready for first pitch. Arlington, being the visitors, obviously will be batting first. We'll tell you their lineups, but before we do that, we want to remind you that the pregame show is presented by our friends at Chapman Cornelius. They are a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have been serving the Arlington community for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache, because Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan that is tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott and see how they can help you today. 817-265-3346. We'll go ahead and show you our perspective from the press box here with our wonderful camera zap view of the field. Arlington getting ready to head to the batter's box, and we're getting ready to get underway from Bell High School. Danny Bustamante will be leading things off, playing third base for Arlington today. And we'll tell you the rest of the starting lineup as we can. Taking the mound for the Raiders is Dylan Riley. First pitch is fouled back into the netting, and we're underway.
Right back at the zap cam comes that foul ball from Danny Bustamante. Sam Harper is on deck for the Colts. Mason Hensley will be batting third, and he's in the hole to start off right now.
This one's in play, but right to the shortstop, Torres. He'll make the throw across the diamond for the 6-3 putout, and that is the first out of the ballgame. First baseman is Daniel. Second baseman is Perez. Moreno's at third. As we mentioned, Callan Pate behind the plate, Dylan Riley on the bump. Sanchez is in right. Tullis is in center. And Josiah Oliveira will be DH for and play left field. Pops, I've got you muted if you need to go through some production notes real quick, and I'll take a look at this foul straight back by Sam Harper for strike number 1. The lefty turns and fires. In the air, headed for playable area in shallow right. And Sanchez will make the catch for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for the Bell defense very quickly here in the top of the first. That'll take us to Mason Hensley. If he should find a way aboard, London Prater bats cleanup for Arlington here today. He does put this in play, and it'll bounce in front of the right fielder for a base hit. So Mason Hensley is the first base runner for the Colts here at this 4 p.m. first pitch.
That was a good, solid shot. The last hit out to right field was a little hanging fly ball that was caught by the right fielder, Sanchez. This particular ball dropped down right in front of Sanchez for a clean base hit to put a first Colt runner on the bases for the afternoon.
Daniel covering the first base bag. The lefty pitcher able to look right at him. This one goes away from the right-handed hitting Prater for ball number 1. Prater is going to be the starting pitcher today, batting in this cleanup spot. Jeremiah Taylor, the catcher, the left fielder Axel Alvarado, the first baseman Abe Alvarado, the second baseman Hayden White, and the center fielder Gannon Howard round out the rest of the Arlington lineup as Prater takes a look at ball number 2.
That ball was a little bit down in the virtual dirt. We have some more virtual dirt here today at this beautiful little ballpark.
And that one is right down the pipe for a strike looking.
Everything is AstroTurf here. Kind of an alternate green, light green AstroTurf. You're not seeing things on your video screen. And a big blue B out in center field for Bell. Foul tip right into the glove of Pate. Runs the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Runner at first base in Mason Hensley. Riley takes a throw over there. Courtesy tag applied by first baseman Jacob Daniel. But Hensley gets back easily. Two balls, 2 strikes to the batter. London Prater, the pitcher for this afternoon. Pitcher facing pitcher here. The wind, the takeoff from the runner goes down to second base. The call is a ball. The play at second base is safe. Safe for the steal for Mason Hensley on the play.
Good piece.
Count runs to full. Sorry about that.
It's a good piece of base running by the shortstop, getting in underneath the tag. It's a good throw by Pate.
Yeah, it was right on target.
Just didn't quite get there.
Full count now. Payoff pitch coming from Dylan Riley. Takes a little peek back at Hensley and comes home. Curveball drops right into the zone for a called third strike, and the Raiders get out of the inning. We'll take a little break here between top of the first and bottom of the first. This is Colt baseball Produced by Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back, folks.
Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com. If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Ika Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Ika features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Ika at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you. Welcome back to LD Bell High School, home of the Raiders. As we mentioned at the top of the inning, Prater, senior number 18, getting the start for Arlington on this Monday afternoon. His battery mate will be Jeremiah Taylor. Over at first base, Abe Alvarado. At second base, Hayden White. At third base, Danny Bustamante. At shortstop, Mason Hensley. Axel Alvarado is in left. Gannon Howard is in center. And Sam Harper locks down right field for the Colts. Malachi Perez, Chandler Tullis, and Nomar Torres will be the first 3 up for LD Bell. Gary Sanchez in right field, Jacob Daniel at first base, Ethan Moreno at third base, the DH Jeremiah Johnson, the catcher Callan Pate, and then the pitcher Dylan Riley round out the LD Bell batting order. Bell comes in with an 0-2 record, same as your Arlington Colts. They lost 5-3 and then 6-1 in back-to-back games against Flower Mound Marcus. This is a team, Pops, that finished third place in the district of 4-6A a season ago, 21 wins, 10 district victories. Arlington also with a third place finish, going 11-3 in 8-6A. And they had some pretty spirited and competitive games against Rockwall Heath. So both teams seem to have learned a lot in these first couple of games. Both teams had similar seasons a year ago. Both teams itching for a win here today.
Lefty Malachi Perez steps into the batter's box, and we're ready to go in this bottom half of the first inning. First pitch from Prater's outside for ball 1. London winds and delivers. Outside again, a little bit away also, 2-0 to the batter, Malachi Perez, holding down second base for the Raiders this afternoon.
Not quite as deep of a backstop as Rockwall Heath had a couple of days ago. Right past the ear of Prater and into shallow center field. It's a leadoff base hit right back up the middle for Malachi Perez.
Solid shot. You're right, it just about took off London's ear as it went by. I'm sure he heard it whistling as it went into center field. Played well by Gannon Howard, but a clean base hit to lead off the game for the Raiders. Brings up center fielder Chandler Tullis, number 13. Norman Torres on deck. Gary Sanchez in the hole for the Raiders.
Abe Alvarado stepping on the first base bag, trying to cover the leadoff man who got aboard. Prater very quickly pitching out of the stretch and delivers a swinging strike 1 to number 13, Tullis.
It's a good-sized ballpark, 375 to straightaway center, 330 down each line, 365 to each alley, left center and right center here at LD Bell's ballpark.
Nathan Danford Field is what the left field scoreboard says. Bunt is squared up for Prater. Only play is to first. It's a little bit wide, but the tag is applied. And the runner advances. So it'll be a 1-3 sack BU that will put Perez in scoring position here in the bottom of the first. Hit that share button, fans. We are live in Hurst. Tournament action starts on Thursday afternoon for your Colts. This game on Monday here is actually a makeup because we weren't able to make it to the Central Texas First Pitch Classic, which usually gets played in the Round Rock area. Pops, it's so weird to see weather like we've got today. After just 4 or 5 days ago, we were worried about the roads on 35 being iced over.
Yeah, this is a beautiful day for baseball. That curveball attempt by Prater hung inside that time. I'll tell you what, the runner out there at second base, Perez, is going to have to keep on his toes because in the last ball game we played, we saw Jeremiah Taylor nail a strike down to second base and catch a runner napping.
Yeah, the Heath Hawks learned very quickly why JT is the District 8-6A Defensive Player of the Year. Prater fires another one that's a little bit too far inside. Nearly chin high to Torres.
Prater looks at second, comes home with his next pitch. High and outside. Counts 3-0. Prater having trouble finding the edges of that strike zone. He's trying to paint the corners, and he's just a little bit outside the zone. Well, a little early on the walk this way.
We'll hope it's not.
There's
the
a
strike gets delivered. 3 balls and a strike now as Prater did not get psyched out. Remains a hitter's count, though.
There's Brother the voice coming up the stairs in your view screen. That's great.
Yep.
Oh,
and a hit by pitch.
One off the left shoulder. That puts Nomar on base.
He's here for the weather and the experience, but not a whole lot of experience with
ducking under the camera.
Ducking the camera. He walked right in front of it during that single to lead off the bottom of the inning.
So that's a.
It makes you feel immersed in the action.
Yeah, you're right there with the fans. Maybe you can enjoy that hamburger with them out there. Bell has 2 runners on now, first and second base. Perez at second, Torres at first. Colts playing in on the infield.
And this one goes out to the outfield. Gannon Howard calling for it. Charging up, and they're going to hold the runner at second, which is a wise call because that laser from Howard made it to Bustamante well before Perez would have made it.
Yeah, good play by the center fielder out there. You may recognize that Howard name. It's been held down by Howard for the last several seasons. This version is Gannon, and he runs up on that fly ball.
Which is exactly what you're supposed to do. You are moving towards where the play is supposed to be. It's a good heads-up play there by the center fielder.
So we'll see if Prater can work out of this jam he's got himself into in this inning. 2 outs now with those 2 runners still on base at first and second.
Jacob Daniel, the first baseman, now up. And he'll take a look at ball 1, low and away. Perez with a decent lead off of second. Equidistant from Mason Hensley, the shortstop. Prater looks at him and comes home. And again, trying to hit that low and away corner, cannot find it. It's 2-0.
Yeah, he's trying to paint those corners we mentioned earlier, and he's just missing. Hopefully he can fine-tune that placement and get it just right.
Well, there's a lot of ball left to play.
Mm-hmm. Well, we saw Bustamante did that the other day with his curveball. Bustamante was hanging that curveball a little bit, and he finally got it to snap off and get in there just like that one from Prater.
Just like that, the count moves to 2-1. Prater sets toe to rubber. as the lefty hitting Daniel waits for the 2-1. Another one that's too low, and it's a hitter's count again. A lot of patience at the plate from these Raider hitters. Very rarely has Prater been ahead in the count. Call comes in to Jeremiah Taylor, who delivers it to Prater. And the 3-1. Outside, it's a base on balls, and it is loaded for the third baseman, Ethan Moreno.
Perez moves over to third. Nomar Torres out to second. Daniel takes up position at first base. But there are 2 outs here. A lot of things can happen. Ethan Moreno steps in, the third baseman for the Raiders today.
One of the few right-handed hitting hitters we've seen so far today. Too far inside, spinning away from it. It's all been going to that right-hand side of the plate. He needs to find a way to center it. This one's in play. To right field, on his horse, and foul.
That ball continued to curve towards that right field line as it came off the bat. Sam Harper playing right field today for the Colts. Chased it, gave a good look at it, but it ended up in the batting cage down there down the right field line. Sam Harper played a good position in left field over the weekend, and they moved him to right today.
1-1 almost clips the jersey. That curveball never curves back into the strike zone, and it is 2-1 to Moreno. The traditional windup for Prater with the bases loaded, and this one gets fouled straight back. Deuces are wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases full of Raiders here in the bottom of the first inning. Excited to have you along with us here for high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions. Spread the word that we are live. And this one will hit him on the hip. Nowhere to put him.
Yeah.
And the Raiders take the unconventional 1-0 advantage. That's the second HBP in this inning, as Prater struggles to find the middle of that plate, and that'll bring out varsity assistant Heath Crosno as the infield comes in to have a conversation. The bases will remain loaded as Perez comes in to score. He got the leadoff single back up the middle to center field. Since then, it's been a sacrifice, a hit by pitch, a fly out, a walk, and a hit by pitch to bring in that first run. Just 1-0, and Arlington has clawed back from deficits in the past. They were up 1-0 in the first game against Heath and fell narrowly 2-1, but then it was alternating scores in that game number 2, Pops.
Several lead changes in that
One
ball
moment
game.
it's 2-1, then it's 3-2, then it's 5-3, then it finished 7-5 advantage Hawks. So Arlington looking to learn from those teachable moments and see what they can do here against the designated hitter, Jeremiah Johnson. 7th spot in the Bell lineup. And he'll foul off the first pitch he sees, which puts Prater ahead in the count for one of the few times this half inning.
Good to get ahead in the count. Maybe Crosno had some wise words for him.
He has a tendency to do that. It's a good dig by Jeremiah Taylor on ball number 1. Not as much room to work with behind him as other backstops we have seen. Bowie, Sam Houston, Lamar, all those district opponents have deep, deep backstops. This one's probably closer to what Arlington's depth is. And that slider zings across the plate for a called strike.
Still good to have that athleticism in your catcher behind the plate so that you can avoid the unpredictable carom off this brick wall.
The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and he gets out of the jam with only 1 run allowed. Prater gets the K after facing 7 batters, but you're right, that teachable moment from Coach Krosno helped him recover, and we are through 1 here in Hurst. Second inning on deck when we come back with high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Zap wants to thank the following people who helped make our tournament coverage possible. Our meal sponsors, Kristen Crocker, Nathan Gutierrez, Gloria Weber, the Madden family, the Hensley family, the Laney family, Bill and Betsy Starnes, and Armando Dercol. And our lodging sponsors, Holly Hensley Life Insurance, the PDA Advocacy Group, Lynn Wynn, Jake and Sharon Damon, the Hammond family, Patty Bustamante, and Bella and Sam Howard. A special thanks to my wife Edna, whose constant support makes all of this possible. If you appreciate our tournament coverage, please consider sending a Venmo tip to the username @ZachTheVoice and list the name of the broadcaster you want to tip in the memo.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Welcome back, fans, to the ball field here at Bell, the Nathan Danford Field on the campus of LD Bell High School. We head into the top of the second inning. Your Colts will be sending up the 5, 6, 7 batters. Jeremiah Taylor will lead it off. Axel Alvarado on deck. Abe Alvarado in the hole to get started this second inning. Coach Womack trots down to first base as Taylor steps into the right-handed batting box. Your athletic catcher for the day. Second inning of work for Dylan Riley. And the first pitch is inside for ball 1.
JT seems to have worked on his swing a good bit during this offseason, Pops. He had a very sharply hit ball that led to a run in the second game of the doubleheader against Heath on Saturday.
Second pitch a little bit low, called ball 2. He also had that triple.
That's what I was talking about.
I'm sorry.
The deeply hit ball that led to a run.
3-0 now, the count to Jeremiah Taylor.
But hey, he's got the speed to take off if he draws a walk too.
Riley delivers the 3-0 pitch, and it's low. 4-pitch walk to Jeremiah Taylor to lead off the inning.
He feigned a bunt and then pulled back on that 3-0. He wanted that free pass. Wasn't even going to pretend to swing at that one.
Stepping into the left-handed batting box, your designated hitter for this afternoon, Axel Alvarado.
Well, he's starting in left field, and then if they make a pitching change, then he'll become the DH. It's one of those new rules where you can have 2 different functions within the same spot in the lineup. Bunt is squared up for here. Only play is to first, and it is successful. JT way too fast for that one.
So the Colts break open the small ball to get started with today's ball game. 1 out in the inning, Jeremiah Taylor down at second base, and the first baseman, Abe Alvarado, steps into the right-handed batter's box for his first at-bat this afternoon. Riley takes a look at Taylor down at second base, but he comes home. This one's a high hit ball, high arcing to left field. The left fielder, Olivar, is going to get under it and bring it in. Taylor's going to come to third. He's going to be close, but the ball is bobbled by the third baseman, Moreno, and Taylor gets in safely on the sacrifice fly by Abe Alvarado.
Ooh, that was close. If that had been fielded cleanly by Moreno, it's a bang-bang play, but Taylor trusted that the throw would be off and trusted his speed, and he makes it to where he's 90 feet away from being the tying run.
We do have 2 outs in the inning now as Hayden White, second baseman for the Colts, steps in to try and bring this first runner home today. Riley's first pitch to him is swung on and hit to center field. It's a little high. The center fielder, Tullis, is going to come under it and make the catch for the third out of the inning. So the Colts get a runner to third base, but that's it. as we'll get ready for the bottom of the second inning here. This is Colt Baseball, produced by Zach Arnold Productions and presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Hey Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana. Aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Green Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Welcome back, fans, to the bottom half of this second inning. London Prater back on the mound for his second inning of work. LD Bell will be sending their 8, 9, and 1 batters to the plate this half inning after they scored 1 run on 2 hit by pitches, a walk, and a sac fly, or sac bunt. It's 1-0 Bell. Leading off will be Callan Pate. On deck, Dylan Riley, the pitcher, and in the hole, the top of the order, Malachi Perez. This will be Callan Pate's first at bat this afternoon as the catcher steps into the right-handed batting box.
They came very, very close to batting around.
Pate really crowding the box so that on the plate, his feet are right on the front part of the line, and the first pitch is fouled away at the plate for strike 1. They may be crowding the plate because
that's the direction.
Prater was having so much trouble with that inside zone.
I was thinking that.
And hit a couple of batters, so they're really right up on the line by the plate, crowding the box. That next pitch is called an inside pitch by the umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch from Prater on the way. Called on that low and outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Everybody playing straight. A slight breeze blowing straight in from center field as the flags are gently waving. While we're waiting, Callan Pate calls time at the plate. Everybody's back in their positions, and we're ready to go again. Prater winds. The 1-2 pitch, fouled off to the right side, close to the Colt dugout at first base. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Very, very close to getting that strikeout there. Callan was very late on that swing. He's lucky that he got a piece of it.
We'll do the 1-2 pitch again. The wind and the delivery is swung on and fouled again right behind the plate. Good little battle going on here between London Prater and Callan Pate. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pate, the first batter of the inning. Another 1-2 pitch. This one does hit him square in the back. This is going to be a concern if they continue to crowd the plate like they are.
Let's see if that's just Callan's approach or if Dylan also tries this.
Dylan Riley, the pitcher, due up to the plate. We're going to get a pinch runner down at first base for the catcher.
Being the catcher, he is allotted a courtesy runner.
Yep. I have numbers on the front of their shirts.
I was about to say, any chance you could catch the number?
I think I saw 23 when he spun around at one point.
If that's the case, then it would be Brennan Vick now running at first.
Pitcher Dylan Riley is coming up to the left-handed batting box to face his counterpart, London Prater. Nobody out in the inning, and that runner in paint over at first base after the hit by pitch. Third hit by pitch in the ball game so far.
Whoever's running for Pate anyway, we think it's Vic. Whoever he is, he's being covered by Abe Alvarado over at first.
First pitch is squared to bunt. It's a good bunt right back to Prater. The quick throw pulls the Alvarado off the bag, and the batter runner is safe.
That was a bang play because of how slow the ball was. It died right in front of the pitcher's mound. Prater was the only one who had a good angle on it. The right-handed throwing Jeremiah Taylor would have had to square his body around in order to make that throw.
Another courtesy runner coming in for the pitcher. Number 6 is the courtesy runner at first.
Caleb Lamb is the runner. Vic should be the runner at second. Everybody's aboard.
And that takes us back to the top of the order, Malachi Perez, who got a clean base hit up the middle in his last at bat. Nobody out in the inning. Runners at first and second for the Raiders. And then Prater comes set, takes a look at the runner, Vic, at second, and wheels and throws it into center field. Gannon Howard is there to pick it up and try to get the runner at third base. He's out at third base.
What a great throw by Gannon Howard to get the runner trying to steal an extra 90 feet. Great catch and tag by Danny Bustamante as well. The Colt defense gets the first out.
The runner from first does make it down to second base, so they still have a runner at second. Nobody at first base now, and one out in the inning. There was no pitch home on that play, so the count is still batter Perez. Lamb is now the runner out at second base. London Prater comes set for his first delivery to the new batter. A little high and outside, ball one. Prater taking his time in between pitches here. Looks in for the sign from Jeremiah Taylor. Takes a look at the runner at second and comes home. On that inside low corner for strike one called by the umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Malachi Perez. Perez playing second base for the Raiders today. Got a nice base hit knock in his first at bat. Came around to score the 1 run that the Raiders have at this point. Prater shakes off that first sign, backs off the pitching rubber. Comes set again. Looks at Lamb and comes home. Curveball in there for a strike called. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That curveball looked like it was heading high and broke off nicely halfway to the plate, right down into the zone. Lamb gets a lead off at second base. Hensley not really playing him tight. The batter called timeout at home, and it was granted, even though it seemed like Prater was into his windup. Count stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. Prater comes set, and the delivery home is squibbed out to second base. White fields it cleanly, gets it over to Alvarado. Lamb does advance to third base, but there's 2 outs in the inning. 4-3 put out there for the second out in the inning brings up the number 2 batter in the lineup, Chandler Tullis. Tullis got a sacrifice in his first at bat, was out at first base. Moved runners along. Tullis holding down center field for the Raiders today. Runner at third base in Lamb. 2 outs in the inning now. First pitch called a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to the new batter, Tullis.
Be a huge boost for this Colt defense if they can leave that runner stranded 90 feet away.
This is going to be a little blooper into left field that's going to score that run as it falls right into no man's land between the left fielder Alvarado and Hensley. Hensley was fading back and almost had a chance at catching it, but it went just a little bit beyond his outstretched arm. Lamb finally comes all the way around to score the second run for the Raiders.
How ironic of an announcer's jinx is that?
It'll be such a boost for this defense.
Yeah, be quiet, Zach.
That'll bring up Nomar Torres, the shortstop. He was hit by a pitch his last at bat. One of the several we've seen this afternoon.
Taylor feigned towards first base, trying to let the runner know that he was getting a little too far away. He's done pickoffs at first before.
Prater really taking his time on the mound. Good leadoff at first base by Perez. Throw home is going to be hit into right field. Sam Harper's getting a beat on it, fading towards the line, and he gets under it and makes the catch for the third out of the inning. So the F9 ends the inning, but not before another run is put on the board on that bloop single into left field. It's the Raiders 2, the Colts 0, as we head to the top of the third inning. This is high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org. Go here at Nathan Danford Field in Hurst, Texas. About a 15-20 minute drive away from the Arlington High campus. A few Arlington faithful out here along the first baseline, maybe about 15 to 20 or so. Pops, this place is so recently renovated, there's still wet cement over by the Arlington grandstands.
I noticed that when I came in and was scouting out the positioning for our equipment today. Still got wet cement.
First pitch is too high to the center fielder, Gannon Howard. First at-bat of the afternoon for him. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Arlington lineup. Bustamante on deck, Harper in the hole. He'll take a swing at one that's low and inside and foul it into the netting behind him. Works the count to a ball and a strike. Showed off his arm on that pickoff during the attempted advance to third. Let's see if he can show off his bat as this one bounces in the metaphorical turf out of the arm of Riley and into the glove of Pate.
We were really impressed with the defensive show Hayden White put on during the weekend series at Rockwall Heath.
They say Howard went around here. And Gannon Howard with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And he went too far around again. That is a swinging strikeout. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Dylan Riley. And it'll take us back to the top of the order. In the third baseman, Danny Bustamante.
Danny grounded out the shortstop his last at bat.
He'll take a look at ball one here.
Wearing some bright pink sneakers to play the ball game today.
He was second baseman for Arlington as a sophomore last year, locking down the hot corner as he looks at a curveball on the corner of the zone for strike one. With Mason Hensley expected to move on to bigger and better at the conclusion of this year, the junior Bustamante should be inheriting his shortstop position next year as a senior. 2 balls and a strike here to Busta. That one is going to bounce again. Looks like possibly a slider that he's letting loose too late, and it's 3-1. Favorite movie of Danny Bustamante? Surprise, surprise, it's The Sandlot. Gets underneath this one, and the golf swing is headed for foul territory. Second baseman gets called off, and just barely on the infield side of that foul line, the right fielder Sanchez records the F9 of Bustamante. Perez gave chase and then got called off by Sanchez at the very last second, and there's 2 away now for Sam Harper. That one bottoms out. Harper also flew out to right in the previous inning. That one finds that inside part of the zone barely for a called strike. This one's lofted in the air, but not very far. The wind will bring it back into shallow left field. Charging up and making the grab is Josiah Oliveira. And Arlington
goes quietly
on the 1-2-3 half inning. Fans, the third inning of each ball game is presented by our friends at Ika Signs, located in the heart of Arlington. They offer same-day production on certain rush orders and offer a wide catalog of custom printed materials. Call 817-617-2229 to find out how Ika Signs can help your brand's visibility.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Ika Signs is a new platinum partner of Zach Arnold Productions, helping us cover both Arlington and Bowie high schools in District 86A this season. Pops, we started covering Arlington High football in 2019, Arlington baseball in 2020 when that COVID season was cut short during tournaments. And finally here in 2025, we have enough equipment, personnel, and reach and influence to justify covering multiple high schools this season, and we're very excited to be calling games for Arlington and Bowie by the time district play rolls around.
We mentioned during football season, as we got to start with Bowie football this year, we've got a lot of ties to both schools, with myself being an alumni and you having a lot of experience with ball boy and FCA at Arlington High, and Mom opening the current building that Bowie High School is in. Mom and I meeting when she was teaching at Arlington ISD. So lots of connections for our family with Arlington High and Bowie. So we're glad to be picking up the volunteer action this year.
Gary Sanchez leads things off and will foul this one out of play to right field. Flew out to center in his last at-bat. Also worth noting that my lovely wife Edna is a Bowie High School alum. Yeah.
Yep, so she
And you're in Arlington.
It's fun rooting for the Bowie Blue and Orange.
You're an Arlington High alum. Jot is an Arlington High alum. A lot of UT Arlington alums on the Zap staff as ball number 2 comes in too low. So there's a lot of ties to the city of Arlington in a lot of different ways, and that's part of what makes our connection to the community so fun and so special. There's actually a small LD Bell connection to the city of Arlington that I'm going to touch on in just a second as strike 2 gets called at the knees of Sanchez. The head football coach and athletic coordinator of LD Bell is Coach Dibble, and he was the defensive coordinator for Arlington High when we first started calling stuff over there.
Oh, another hit by pitch.
Another control issue on the right-hand side of the plate. And another HBP, this time one issue to the right fielder. The hit by pitch to strikeout ratio is 4-1.
Well, to use a football analogy, this kind of puts you behind the sticks when you plunk the first batter and put him on first base.
Bunt is squared up 4, pulled back as ball 1 is issued. JT jumps up and chases Sanchez back to first. They double check with the field umpire, who says he did not go around. The offer was rescinded at the right time, and it's 1-0. He'll offer again for the bunt. Creeping up is Bustamante. He'll pull back and hit it towards second base. Diving for it is the second baseman, White. He won't get there, and they'll have runners on the corners as the bunt works as a de facto hit and run. Sanchez moves all the way to third on the single by Jacob Daniel.
Hit in the perfect spot as White was moving towards second base to cover the runner on the hit and run, and the ball was slapped right where he would have been, into right field. Well executed hit and run by the Raiders offense.
That'll take us to Ethan Moreno, one of the hit by pitch victims. Almost gets his elbow clipped there as ball 1 goes inside. Moreno does seem to be creeping the front side of that batter's box just a smidge. Not nearly as much as we have seen in the past, but this one finds the zone for strike 1. Abe Alvarado covering the first base bag. Bustamante playing straight away. High and away for ball 2. Prater having to pitch out of the stretch again with runners on either end of the base paths. Bustamante scoops this up, and now he's got a man caught. The chase is on as they head towards the baseline. He's out.
Double play!
And a play at third. They get the tag at third, and 2 are turned defensively. JT with the tag, and then a great throw, and it's 2 away in one swing.
Unconventional double play as Moreno ends up all the way out at second base on the chasing around the ball.
Yeah, that's just reaching on a fielder's choice.
Yep.
And then getting an extra base during the chase. This one's in play. Bustamante charging, firing from the shortstop position, and it's the first empty inning for the Raiders here in the bottom of the third, and it's all thanks to the Colt defense turning 2 along that third base line. We're headed to the fourth. It's just 2-0 in favor of the home team. You're tuning in to High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back after this. John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington.
A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades. And they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Welcome back to action here at Nathan F. Danford Field on the campus of LD Bell High School as your Colts are playing the LD Bell Raiders. Right now the Raiders are up 2-0 as we head into the top of the fourth inning. Your Colts will be sending up the 3, 4, 5 batters this inning. Mason Hensley will lead things off. London Prater, the pitcher, will be on deck, and Jeremiah Taylor, the catcher, will be in the hole to get things started. Hensley had a base hit, his first at bat this afternoon. As he steps in, we'll look to see if we can get some production out of this Colt offense, see if these bats can wake up. First pitch from Dylan Riley in his fourth inning of work. Curveball, called a ball.
Looping off speeder, just couldn't find the zone, trying to drop it in there.
1-0 pitch, swung on and tapped to the left side, foul. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
The arc of that off speed is about as off of a speed as you can get. It just kind of drops in. Just didn't quite drop into the zone there.
Little lively action out of the Colt dugout, and Hensley shoots a foul ball over there right above them. Count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Riley with the windup. And the delivery is called strike 3 by the home plate umpire.
Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Hensley will sit down, and that'll bring up London Prater, the pitcher, who struck out his first time at bat this afternoon. 1 out in the inning.
3rd K of the day for Riley. A couple of them backwards. He is finding the umpire's strike zone so far.
First pitch is swung on and missed by Prater. Riley jumps ahead. No balls, 1 strike. That ball's a little bit outside the zone. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Riley doesn't have a whole lot of speed, but he's got some placement. He's trying to hit that outside corner away. He's trying to hit the lower half of the zone. Just like he does there.
That ball's called a strike on Prater. Riley goes ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Bell up 2-0. Another curveball catches that outside corner, and according to the home plate umpire, is another strikeout looking. That'll bring up Jeremiah Taylor.
Arlington's just going to have to adapt. They're going to have to figure out that the lower half of the zone is getting called, and they're going to have to be swinging away when they get up there and see something go in that direction.
Lower half and the outside edge. That one's high and away, ball 1. Two strikeout looking in the inning for Dylan Riley. And now 2 consecutive balls thrown to Jeremiah Taylor.
Taylor has yet to see a strike from Riley. He drew a 4-pitch walk his last at-bat.
There's a called strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Taylor's talking to the umpire, trying to figure out where that ball's being placed.
Well, he's probably strategizing as a catcher, too, so that he knows where to encourage his pitchers to throw it to.
Taylor steps back in. The 2-1 pitch. Down in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike. Got a hitter's count coming up here for Taylor, who we've seen can have some power. And this one's popped straight up.
Golf swing, got too far underneath
to the right
it.
side, first baseman, and it drops. Nobody talking to each other, and the ball drops between 3 Bell players that were within 10 feet of the ball. And Taylor makes it to first base and advances on the error to second base. Give him a base hit and an E. I don't know who you pick.
E9.
I think the first baseman was.
No, I think the right fielder was calling
fielder?
for it. I think that's a plus E9.
Okay. Nevertheless, 2 outs in the inning and a runner at second base in Taylor. And that'll bring up the number 6 batter in the order, left fielder Axel Alvarado. Taylor gets a big lead off out there at second base. Torres not really holding him on. First pitch to Alvarado is high and outside for ball 1.
That almost felt like a pitch out to see if Taylor was going to try and go for third.
Alvarado settles back in. The lefty Riley takes a look over his shoulder back at Taylor, and he comes home. Straight up the middle for a base hit. Here comes Taylor rounding third. Coach Swomack's telling him to go home. The throw is coming to the plate. It's going to be close. He's out at the plate. Taylor did not have the wheels to get there, and that was an excellent throw from Tullis in center field.
It was.
Excellent throw, right on the mark, and he was out by 5 feet.
And, you know, that's the type of situation where you really need a perfect throw in order to get him. That's the right call by Coach Womack to send one of your fastest players on the team. It just doesn't work out for you this time around. It's time for the 4th inning stretch. It's presented by Taqueria Taco Express, featuring a wide, authentic menu. Taco Express can solve any Mexican food craving. Order online to collect 10 points or more for free food, and then you can get 5 tacos and a large agua fresca on Taco Tuesday for just $10. We'll be back with more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing, right after this. Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting TaqueriaTacoExpress.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Welcome back to action here on the campus of LD Bell High School as the Colts are playing the Raiders in a de facto makeup game from the Central Texas First Pitch Classic that we were basically cold weathered out of. Severe cold weather.
Temperatures with a
15s.
wind chill close to 0.
Yep.
And here we are with temperatures around 70. A lot prettier day for baseball here.
So glad to be playing these Raiders. We might have faced them in the tournament down there, but we're here now. And Bell steps into the bottom half of this 4th inning with a 2-0 lead as they'll send up their 8, 9, and 1 batters. First pitch is to Callan Pate, and he fouls it off to the right side for strike 1. Pate was hit by a pitch in his first at bat and made it all the way to third, but in a bizarre series of events at the end of that inning, there were several rundown and tag outs, and the next pitch by Prater is a curveball that's not called, but
puts the ball in curveball.
1-1 here. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Down low, called a strike.
See, and that's a good adjustment by Prater, and I have a sense that it has to do with JT asking the ump about the placement of that pitch during his at-bat.
1-2 delivery, outside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes as the count runs even to Callan Pate, the catcher for the Raiders this afternoon. Two delivery, inside and low for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, count runs full. London Prater comes set on the mound. The payoff pitch. Swung on and tipped right into Taylor's glove and caught for strike 3.
What a confidence boost for that young man. He got the called third strike half inning and now gets another strikeout. It's back-to-back Ks and 2 that Prater has put down.
Raiders lefty pitcher Dylan Riley steps into the left-handed batting box to face his opponent pitcher London Prater. Foul to the left side over towards the Raider dugout on the third base side. Strike number 1. Oh, 1 pitch. That ball had a count, runs even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Riley got a bunt single in his last at bat. Came around and scored eventually. Low called, strike 2. When I say low, I mean low in the zone, which is where this umpire seems to be consistently calling this afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Riley. That one away. Count evens 2-2. Prater ready for the 2-2 pitch.
Tried to frame it.
Tried to frame it, bring it up a little bit, but the count runs 3 balls and 2 strikes. Prater ran full count to the last batter before getting a strikeout. Full count here to Riley. Payoff pitch to Riley. Swung on and fouled straight back into the fence. Riley hanging tough. Getting a few new baseballs in for the umpire to put in his pouch there. Where everybody resets. Another round of the 3-2 pitch. Outside and high. Dylan Riley wins that battle and takes up position at first base with a walk. That'll bring up the top of the order, Malachi Perez. Perez playing second base, got a base hit in his first at bat and grounded out to second base in his second at bat. Brings up the left-handed batting Malachi Perez. Gets a lead off. Prater takes a look over at him over his shoulder, but comes home way high and tailing away for ball 1. One out in the inning, and that one runner at first base being held on by Abe Alvarado. Next delivery, a curveball that never breaks. 2 balls, no strikes to the batter, Perez. Prater again taking his time in between pitches. Riley getting a good lead off at first. The pitch comes home, and it's too high for this umpire, Prater. 3-0.
Did Riley get a courtesy runner, Pops?
We're going to take a, oh, it looks like Womack's coming out with the hook.
Try to be patient with him, but he's put people aboard, he's hit people, he's walked people, and it's a 3-0 count here. There will be some defensive changes most likely, but this signal from the coach is a sign of a pitching change. And the next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is right after this break. Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting TaqueriaTacoExpress.com. New man on the mound and new to this young 2025 season Taking over for London Prater is number 7, Sawyer Hutcherson. Hutcherson on the mound for Arlington. I spoke to Coach Womack before the game, Pops, and it sounds like what we're going to be doing now is Prater is going to assume his traditional right field position, which will move Harper from right to left. Axel Alvarado will retain his spot in the lineup and will be DHing for Hutcherson. So Hutcherson will just be on the mound. Alvarado will come off of the field and be just the DH instead of left fielder. I'll get my little spyglass to make sure I can verify all of that which I just described, but I'm about 80 to 90% sure that's how it's going to turn out unless Coach made a game time in the moment decision to do something differently.
Well, and whoever ends up heading out to left field at this position in the ball game, the sun is starting to set, and that's definitely the sun field right now. Harper had to do the same thing at Rockwell Heath the other day, and so we'll be keeping an extra eye on that to make sure he is able to track down anything that's hit out there. Been an unusual situation to change a pitcher in mid-count, in the mid-batter, as Malachi Perez will step back into the batter's box with a 3-0 count. Puts Hutcherson in a difficult spot.
You got a pretty short leash, but we'll see what he's capable of doing. But I did see a number 17 jersey moving over to left field. That would confirm Sam Harper now in left for the Colts. And that would mean the senior number 18, Prater, made it through 3 1/3 inning, giving up just 2 runs on 3 hits. Unfortunately, no run support, and the Colts trail 2-0.
So the count is 3-0 to Perez as he steps back in. And the first pitch from Hutcherson is on that outside corner for a called strike 1. Of course, most batters will wait on that 3-0 count and let it just come right down the pipe. So now we're going to see what Hutcherson can do with this difficult situation with a runner at first and 1 out in the inning. 3-1 pitch. Hits the dirt and gets away from Taylor just a little bit, but it doesn't really make any difference because it was ball 4. So 2 consecutive walks, 1 by Prater, 1 by Hutcherson. Hutcherson inherited a 3-0 count, though.
He inherited the count, so that walk will probably be credited to Prater. And it puts 2 runners aboard and will bring Abe Alvarado onto the lip of the infield grass as the right-handed hitting Tullis could potentially try to lay down a bunt.
Tullis got a base hit his last at bat, but was stranded there by some good defense. Hutcherson takes a look at second and comes home. Fouled straight back into the fence for strike 1 by Tullis.
Interesting that he didn't square up for the small ball. He was going for the big swing there.
Lucky number 13 looks at his coach for the signs.
Head coach of the Raiders, Blake Gibson.
Hutcherson comes set, takes a look at second. The pitch home. Swung on and fouled to the right side over the fence, over the first base side. Count runs to 0-2. Hutcherson's up. Tullis getting some proverbial wood on the ball. We use aluminum bats nowadays. Shows how old I am. There is no such thing as the crack of the bat anymore.
I guess it's the ping of the bat.
The ping of the bat. 0-2 delivery coming here from Hutcherson. Down a little bit low for ball 1. Dylan Riley, the pitcher, or his substitute. He's going to turn around just a little bit. 17. That is Riley out there running for himself.
How about that?
Pitcher Riley at second. Perez at first. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Hutcherson is still ahead of the current batter, Chandler Tullis. Tullis made a great throw from center field to end the last half inning. Had to be a perfect throw to get Taylor at the plate, and it was perfect. 1-2 pitch, tapped gently back into the backstop. He stays alive. Count will stay 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chandler Tullis as they're Nice little battle going on here at the plate between Hutcherson and the batter Tullis. Hutcherson comes set on the mound. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Critical strikeout there with this juncture in the game. Swinging strikeout by Tullis. That puts a second out on the board. Now all kinds of good things can happen for the Colts here with a play in the infield to any of the bases except home. Riley at second, Perez at first. 2 outs in the inning now, and the batter, Nomar Torres. Torres hit by a pitch and flew to right field in his first 2 at-bats. Hutcherson looks at Riley and comes home. Outside and away, ball 1. Hutcherson looking to pitch the Colts out of a jam here. Put another 0 spot on the board. Of course, now that I say that, we'll see what the announcer's jinx does. Curveball that breaks outside into the away from the plate. 2 balls, no strikes on Nomar Torres. Holding down the shortstop position for the Raiders this afternoon. They're wearing kind of an old school knickers up to the knees this afternoon. Ball 1. Ball 3 low. Sorry, 3-0. Raiders have a white uniform with blue, dark blue pinstripe. And Torres has the dark blue socks all the way up to the knees. 3-0 pitch. Hutcherson set, takes a look at Riley at second, and comes home. Called strike 1, hits that lower right-hand corner.
Yeah, and 12 was taking it the whole way.
Yeah. 3-1 count now on the batter Torres. There is a base open, but you'd like to see 0 in here. 3 balls, 1 strike count, and the ball's too low and inside for ball 4. Torres takes a base on balls. That'll move Perez down to second, Riley over to third. Bases are full of Raiders as Gary Sanchez comes to bat, the right fielder. Flew to center field in his first at bat, hit by a pitch last time and was away. Taylor literally blocks the ball with his body. Looked like a hockey goalie there.
Mm-hmm.
But it kept the ball in front of him, so there was no advance by
attack it.
New pitch. Gets that corner that time with just enough height for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to count there, Sanchez. Hutcherson comes set. The delivery's swung on and hit into right field, and it's going to White. 1 run scores. Second run coming around the base. It'll plate. 2-run base hit for Sanchez.
Just hit it where the defense was not. And that doubles the Bell lead from 2 to 4.
Riley scores from third. Malachi Perez scores from third. And that makes the score 4-0 Bell. With a runner at third and a runner at first, and still 2 outs in the inning. Jacob Daniel steps in, first baseman in today's ball game. Has a walk and a base hit to his credit. First pitch from Hutcherson, a called strike 1. Sun continues to set here at Danford Field. Going to be affecting the view of both teams. Next pitch, swung on and hit to first base. Alvarado keeps it in front of him, steps on the bag, and ends the inning. But not before more damage is done by the Raiders. 3-3 put out there for the third out. Raiders plate 2, take a 4-0 lead into the top of the 5th inning. This is high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, ICA features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call ICA at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Four runs in 4 innings for Bell. To the 5th we go. Arlington looking for answers. Zach Arnold, my pops Doug, on the call for this Monday matinee ball game, and it is a called strike 1 to Abe Alvarado. 7, 8, 9 in the lineup for Arlington this half inning. That one dips too far away.
Lefty Dylan Riley on for his 5th inning of work here. So far, pitching a good ball game, handcuffing the Colt offense.
Ball too low. Sharply hit between third, short with a long throw across the diamond. In time, Torres with a laser to Daniel for one of the longest 6-3 putouts you're going to see on the diamond.
Yeah, Torres was moving away from the field to even catch the ball, and then he had to turn and throw across his body, and he threw a laser that was able to get Abe Alvarado by 3 or 4 steps.
Second baseman Hayden White. Nose high for ball number 1. And that one also can't find the zone for ball number 2. Back up the middle, past the pitcher. Shortstop's going to have to make a crazy play again, and he does. Torres taking care of that left-hand side of the infield and gets back-to-back 6-3 athletic putouts.
He's a one-man vacuum cleaner out there. Moving to his right in one play, moving towards his left on that one. Good, accurate, strong throws. You like your best athletes up the middle of your ball field. Catcher, pitcher, center, short and second.
Sharply hit, but foul for Gannon Howard.
Got out in front of that pitch just a little bit and pulled it out of play down the left field side.
This one's
This
in
one's
play.
hit to Torres as well. Oh, he bobbles
and
that
this one he can't go 3 for 3. The E6 will put a man aboard.
I guess the announcer's jinx works on the opponent's defense. Still an excellent player out there. Everybody's going to bobble one now and then. That'll bring up the top of the order for the Colts. Busta. Busta's grounded out to short and flew to right field his 2 previous at-bats.
And that arcing curveball dips in for a called strike. Off and running, and they've caught him in a rundown. Pitcher to first, to second. Caught stealing is Gannon Howard. And Bustamante will lead things off in the next half inning. So the E6 is for naught, and technically Arlington goes down in order 1, 2, 3. To the bottom of the fifth we go. It's 4-0 in favor of the Raiders. This is high school baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Welcome back to action here at the campus on the campus of LD Bell High School, fans. Raiders are up 4-0 at this point as we head into the bottom half of the fifth inning. The Raiders will be sending up their 6, 7, 8 batters. Ethan Moreno leading off, Jeremiah Johnson, the designated hitter, on deck, and Callan Pate in the hole to get things started for the Raiders in this half inning. Sawyer Hutcherson, number 7, came on in the middle of that inning in the last half inning in a very difficult situation. Came in with runners on the base, bases loaded, a 3-0 count on the current batter, and it was just a real tough situation that he had trouble working out of before Bell could put a couple more runs on the board with a base hit. So we'll see how he is able to attack a new inning. As the first batter he's going to face this inning, Ethan Moreno, the third baseman, steps in. Ethan's been hit by a pitch, got on board with a fielder's choice and advanced to second base, but was stranded out there. First pitch from Hutcherson. A little bit low for ball number 1. Hutcherson on for his first full inning of work here. 1-0 count. Swung on and skied to the right side. Alvarado giving chase, but it's going to make it just on top of the dugout. Caught by one of the players who'd like to get an out for that, but they don't get assists in baseball like that. Long fly ball, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Everybody gets set. Hutcherson toes the mound, toes the rubber on the mound. Moreno gets back in the box, and here we go with the 1-1 count. Curveball that catches that outside corner for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Hutcherson works ahead in the count. The wind and the 1-2 delivery. Curveball hangs high that time. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. To the first batter of this bottom of the fifth inning, Ethan Moreno. Ethan holding down the hot corner for the Raiders this afternoon. 2-2 pitch. Down low in the zone for ball 3. Count runs full on Ethan Moreno. Hutcherson peers in for the sign from his catcher, Jeremiah Taylor. The wind and the payoff pitch. Fouled over the right-hand side, out of play. Count will stay full at 3-2. Hutcherson's ready. The payoff pitch. Swung on and hit up the middle. The diving play by Hensley as it slides just past his outstretched glove for a base hit into left center field. Moreno is on as Jeremiah Johnson steps up, the designated hitter for the Raiders this afternoon. Struck out and grounded to third, his first 2 at-bats. Moreno will be held on at first base by Abe Alvarado. Squares to bunt. makes contact to the left side of the plate, picked up and bobbled by Bustamante. Nobody at third base, but the runner tripped out there. Ethan Moreno tripped as he rounded second base. He does make it back. We're calling interference on the shortstop. Interference on the shortstop is going to give the runner who tripped third base. So Ethan Moreno advances to third on the interference called on Hensley. Jeremiah Johnson on the bunt single ends up at first base. So runners at the corners for the Raiders as Callan Pate, the catcher, steps in to the right-handed batting box. Nobody out in the inning. First pitch to Pate, and he squares to bunt. Taylor keeps the ball in front of him as Pate draws the bat back in time for a called ball one. Raiders looking to try and execute a suicide squeeze there. Hutcherson squares the bunt again. Bustamante creeping in from third base. No attempt. The throw down to second base is in time to catch the runner, but they are worried about the runner at third base coming home. So the runner at first gets back. Johnson's able to get back safely. Nobody advances anywhere. Called strike on the batter at the plate. What counts 1-1.
That's good defense by the middle infield for Arlington, keeping their eye on the runner at third base while chasing the man trying to advance.
1-1 count. Hutcherson comes set, takes a look at third, comes home. Again, Pate squares to bunt. The ball is outside. He did not offer it. Ball two. 2 balls, 1 strike on the batter. Hutcherson set for the 2-1 pitch. Bunt, square again, and this one gets past Taylor. No advance by the runner at third, but the runner from first does trot down to second base. So Johnson is at second. Ethan Moreno stays at third. And the count runs to 3-1 on Callan Pate at the plate. Pate at the plate. Got to enunciate correctly. 3-1 delivery. Does not square around. Hits it straight through the middle up into center field. 1 run will come home. 2 runs will come home. The runner goes down to second. Jeremiah Taylor's throw to second is not in time. The batter, Pate, gets a single and an advance on the fielder's choice. And 2 more runs plate. Makes the score 6-0 in favor of Bell. As the left-handed pitching batter steps in, the left-handed batter's box, Dylan Riley.
You got to give a little credit to Riley and the defense behind him. Arlington scored in both of their ball games and put up a solid 5 spot against Rockwall Heath. And to be trailing 6-0 at this juncture in the ball game is actually pretty surprising.
Well, Riley's had him handcuffed all afternoon with that curveball. They just have not been able to put bat on ball today. Play at second base, throws it into center field.
And they think better of it this time.
The runner, Pate, turns back and stays at second base.
Now they know that Gannon has a cannon because somebody got thrown down the last time that happened.
Stole my phrase. I was fixing to say that.
We've been doing this
We
together.
think alike.
We've been doing this together enough times.
Runner stays at second. 1 ball count on the batter, Riley. Mason Hensley still trying to play a little cat and mouse out there. Ball is tipped back into the netting for strike 1. Hensley playing cat and mouse with Pate at second base. Trying to hold him close. Often opening up, though, a big hole on the left side of the infield.
part of it is trust in Bustamante. Part of it is trusting that that's not the direction he'll be able to turn it.
Taylor throws a laser down to second base. Now he is going to go because there's nobody close enough to the ball. Taylor throws the ball at second base, away at second base. Hensley not able to handle it. And the ball, instead of going any farther than it just kind of dribbled away, giving Pate plenty of time to stroll down to third base.
So is that an erroneous throw or an erroneous catch? Somebody's getting an error on that. Is that a fielding error or a throwing error?
That's a throwing error. It didn't get there. That ball is fouled down the left field line. Out of play. Count runs to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Riley. Runner at third base now for the Raiders. Nobody out in the inning. Hutcherson comes set. Takes a look at his runner at third and comes home. Curveball hangs high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Umpire asking for some of the players to get back into the dugout down the third base side over there. Trying to keep the players safe. Payoff pitch here. In the dirt, ball 4. So Riley takes a walk, and that brings us back to the top of the order for the Raiders. Malachi Perez, who has a single and scored a run in the first inning, walked and ended up scoring a run in the 4th inning. And Coach is out with the hook again.
Well, that signal from Coach is the sign of a pitching change. And the next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number. And tell them Zap sent you. We'll be back right after this.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
New pitcher for Arlington coming in, making his first appearance of the young season. Number 9, Angel Hernandez. Hernandez on the mound for Arlington. 5'7", 180 senior. Bats right and throws right. And the right-handed thrower will try to get the 3 outs necessary to get out of this jam. Right now he's got runners on the corners as the Colts trail by 6.
And, you know, this has got to be one of the things that you look to do, especially during preseason, before you get to district action. I mean, I know we've had some scrimmage games, but this is the first live action you would see maybe in a tournament. And your coach is really trying to feel out the different playing positions on the ball field, especially his pitching rotation.
Yeah, you got to figure out what situations you want different people to come in for. Who are your starters? Who are your middle relievers? Who is looking like they could be their closer? And how does that affect your fielding rotation? Because Prater was on the mound to start the ball game, but he's traditionally locking down right field. So how do you set up yourself for success on the field as well if you have to end up substituting at some point in the ball game? In this case, it was Axel Alvarado coming into left field and then seeing Harper move from right to left when it was time for Prater to go back out into the outfield. But who knows what it could be next time. You know, maybe you have Bustamante who plays the hot corner. He was one of the starters on Saturday. What do you do when Bustamante has thrown his pitches for the day and needs to go back to the hot corner? Or do you give him a rest and let him go to the dugout and just do a straight swap? There's a lot of off-the-field mentality that you have to go into as a coach and as a player to prepare yourself. And that's one of the things that you and I love about baseball, Pops, is the
chess game.
The chess match and figuring out the right strategy that sets yourself up for success.
And thinking 2 or 3 plays ahead. So with Callan Pate at third, Dylan Riley at first, nobody out in the inning. Angel Hernandez first pitch to the lead up to the top of the order, Perez. And that pitch is a ball. Mentioned earlier, Perez has got a base hit and scored a run and a walk and scored a run, his 2 at-bats this afternoon. The 1-0 pitch from Angel is a called strike 1. Catches that outside corner.
A lot of surprised grunts from the LD Bell faithful.
Runners at the corners, 1-1 count. Curveball stays high, ball 2.
Yeah, and Hernandez tapped his chest almost as soon as he let that go. He recognized that that was not the trajectory he wanted. But he lives to fight another pitch.
2-1 count. Ball is called a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on the batter Perez.
With 2 men aboard. 2s everywhere.
Except the out column.
I was about to say that, but didn't want to.
Two pitch coming from Hernandez. That ball is hit into the gap between center and right field, and it falls picked up by Gannon Howard. Run plated as the runner at third base had to hold up to make sure it wasn't caught. Pate comes in to score. Dylan Riley moves all the way over to third. And the batter runner, Malachi Perez, is in with a double. Still nobody out in the inning. That'll bring up Chandler Tullis, the center fielder, who made a fantastic throw earlier in the ball game to nail Jeremiah Taylor at the plate. And there's another ball hit to the left side. Maybe it's going to stay fair, but no, it drifts over just over the third base dugout, foul for a long strikeout. 0-1 to Chandler Tullis. Runners at second and third. Nobody out in the inning. The 0-1 pitch coming from Hernandez. A little bit high and outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. He thought about it. Umpire says he did go around for a called strike 2.
Yeah, that pitch looked pretty for about 3/4 of its trajectory and then bottomed out at the last second. It's a good throw there by Angel.
Hernandez pitch fouled off the batter's right knee at the plate. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch to Tullis. Swung on and hit to right field. It's fading towards the right field line. Foul. Just foul by about 10 feet.
Not by much.
The right fielder, Prater, was shading towards center field on that one. Had a long run. Had it been any closer to the line, he never would have made it.
It would have been a lot of trouble if that dropped in fair.
As it turns out, a long strike. Count remains 1 ball and 2. Long foul ball. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. Pitch is outside and away. Taylor throws down to second base, trying to catch the runner getting too far off base, but he gets back in plenty of time. Does Malachi Perez.
And the collective sigh of relief from here in the press box. Those have been a little high and a little wide. Hensley able to catch that one.
Well, 2 of them have gotten away out there, and that would have let the runner come home for sure. Nonetheless, 2 balls, 2 strike count to the batter. That curveball hangs high. Count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's the right idea. It just didn't bottom out at the right time, and that was a good eye at the plate there.
Payoff pitch coming up to Tullis. Hernandez delivery. Swung on and chopped foul to the left side in foul territory. Count will stay. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Quality at bat here by Tullis. Good battle against Hernandez. We'll see who gets the last word.
Tullis 1 for 3 in at bat this afternoon with a base hit in the 2nd inning. Full count pitch. High and away, and he puts him on.
Well, the nice thing is the play is now at any plate, any base.
Yep, Riley at third. Malachi Perez at second. Tullis takes up position at first base on the walk. No outs in the inning. Nomar Torres, the shortstop, up to bat. Torres hit by a pitch and a walk in his 2 at-bats this afternoon. First pitch is a ball.
And see, Hernandez was going after the lower half of the zone, but must have gone a little too low, even for this umpire.
1-0 pitch. Catches that outside corner chest high. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Torres playing a torrid shortstop this afternoon. On fire out there this afternoon with a couple of great plays. That pitch tails away for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Taylor thought about throwing down to first base, but thought better of it. That ball a little bit low and outside for 3 balls and 1 strike count to Nomar Torres. Nowhere to put him.
I was just thinking that.
Bases are loaded. And there it goes. Walked in run. Tullis down to second. Malachi Perez over to third. And another pitching change by Coach Womack.
Well, you know what that means, folks. It's time for another call to the bullpen, which is a sign of a pitching change. And the next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number to call. We'll be right back with the new pitcher here at LD Bell High School.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. New episodes drop monthly featuring news, reviews, discussions, and tangents on all our favorite franchises, including Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, Stranger Things, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, Dune, Godzilla, Firefly, Pixar, Doctor Who, Indiana Jones, The Last of Us, James Bond, House of the Dragon, Ghostbusters. I think you get the picture. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions. New pitcher on the mound in this 8-0 ball game. Number 15 for your Colts. That is Cody Cleveland, junior infielder, 5'7", 130 pounds. First time we've gotten to call his name. His favorite food? Chicken fried steak. The real question, though, is which chicken fried steak and from where?
There's a place out in Dublin, Texas that has a blue plate special, and the chicken fried steak is as big as the whole stinking plate.
The blue plate special. That's not the grandma's place, is it? I can't remember
forget
what
the name.
I can't remember either, but Mondo and I went out to Dublin one time when we did our Dollar General road trip. and we ended up getting a blue plate special there. And it was literally $7 for each of us. You're never going to find a $7 blue plate special anywhere.
Right fielder Gary Sanchez steps up to bat as the new pitcher, Cody Cleveland, in a tough spot here with the bases loaded, and the first pitch sails outside and away for ball one. No place to put anybody here.
Mm-hmm.
Torres at first, Tullis at second, Perez at third. 4 runs on the board this inning already. Cleveland's next pitch is swung on and hit to right field. It's going to drop. Oh, what a circus catch.
Oh,
Sorry,
my gosh.
early call there. The trajectory on that was heading down,
Wow.
but Prater dove and caught that ball.
London Prater keeps the game going.
Got it back in the infield quick enough to hold anybody from trying to get a sacrifice.
Wow.
Sorry about that, London. I pulled the trigger too quick on that one. My apologies to all the Prater family. 1 out in the inning now. Still bases loaded.
We're not going to underestimate him anymore after that.
One ball to Jacob Daniel. Jacob has a walk and a base hit. And
I think this may be a different hitter, Pops.
Oh, maybe. Well, that would make sense with an 8-run lead. I'd put some new batters in there. Next delivery is a called strike one.
I see a number 3 on the jersey. This is Lincoln Carrion, senior outfielder, taking some cuts here. In place of where, Jacob Daniel?
Yes, the number 5 spot. Carrion with a 1-1 count on him. That ball gets away from Taylor. Is the bunter going to come home? Nope. Cleveland gets there in time to cover the bag. And the runner Perez at third decides to hold. 2 balls, 1 strike count to the batter Carrion. His first appearance this afternoon. As this game gets out of hand, might as well get those guys off the bench and get them some swings. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hit to right field. This one is going to drop in front of Prater. 1 run home. Ball gets back in the infield quickly, but Carrion delivers an RBI base hit in his first at bat this afternoon. And they have batted around now, Zach. We're going to have to move things over to the next frame here.
Granny Clark's, that's the name of the place out in Dublin. I finally found it. Granny Clark's Blue Plate Special.
Ethan Moreno already has a base hit in this inning.
Actually, we got a
different batter. Here we go.
Another substitute. This is 25, Logan Wilson.
Mr. Wilson making his first appearance this afternoon. First pitch is down in the dirt. One ball pitch to Wilson is on the outside corner for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. 10th batter of the inning for the Bell Raiders. 4 runs on the board. 1 out in the inning. Cleveland's delivery is swung on and tipped into the glove of Taylor for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases full of Raiders here. 1-2 delivery from Cleveland. Way outside. Taylor has to slide to his right into as far as the other side of the batter's box to corral that one, but he kept it in front of him. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Wilson. Wilson calls time at the plate, and it's granted by the home plate umpire. Colt outfield playing short, hoping they might be able to catch a ball and get it home before the tag up. 2-2 pitch from Cleveland. Low and inside, ball 3. No place to put him. Bases loaded. Full count here. Potential for a run rule game-ending play is looming. That pitch is tapped to first base, and it hits foul right in front of the base. Wilson stays alive with a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Good heads-up play by Abe there, just watching it and letting it fall and go off to foul territory. Live to fight one more pitch.
Cleveland comes set. The payoff pitch to Wilson. Swung on and tapped behind the plate. Wilson hanging in there, staying alive, hanging tough. We'll reset everything and go again with the payoff pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases full of Raiders. The delivery. Low and in the dirt, and that'll do it, folks. Malachi Perez coming in from third base to score, and that is a run rule. 10-0. LD Bell wins the ball game this afternoon. Wilson gets the credit for a walk officially. And we're going to trade places here and move you into the booth to do a little wrap up in today's ball game.
Yeah, welcome into the press box here at Danford Field. Zach Arnold, my pops Doug, producer Pat in the background. Her first game of the year. We got some reps in. She got some reps in. My brother Joel got to get out and enjoy this beautiful weather. Made it a family affair to have some fun at the baseball field. And although it didn't go Arlington's way, there's definitely a lot to take away from this game, a lot to learn from. And we got to enjoy and experience some beautiful weather. So, it's still very, very early in the year. No cause whatsoever to hit the panic button. But I do think that Arlington learned a lot about their team in this ball game. They'll be able to watch the film and learn from it and grow from it. And, tournament play starts on Thursday. So you've got a couple of days to learn from it, turn around, make some adjustments, and then you get right back out there, and you got to dive in head first with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in 3 days, a total of 8 games in 8 days, I was told. There's no better teacher than immersion, and that's part of what Arlington got to experience here today.
Yep, immersion, getting all the reps that you need to get in, finding out who those position players are going to be. I mean, when we were watching the game at Rockwall Heath, we saw a lot of fantastic defense. Today, the Bell hitters were hitting the balls where the players weren't. I mean, It was good hitting.
Yeah.
It wasn't a matter of bad defense. It was just they were hitting it in the gaps. I mean, there was one hit out over third base that was a little dinky hit, but it still was well placed and racked up some runs. And so, we're just looking at some fine-tuning here and getting ready. The whole ultimate point of preseason like this is to get ready for district play.
It is. And Arlington's record was not fantastic going into district play last year either. There were a lot of things to pick up on and learn from during that non-district play. And then they turned it around and went 11-3 during the games that it mattered most.
Right.
And so this is something that is not new to Coach Womack and company. And even though there are a few new faces on the roster, there's a lot of senior experience in the form of players like Jeremiah Taylor, Matthew Wynn, Danny Bustamante is a junior. He's been playing for 2 years. There's a lot of experience that can encourage this team, that can pick them up and get them ready for the next ball game. The next ball game will be on Thursday, the 27th, at the home of Waxahachie High School, Richards Park. A 1:30 first pitch against Birdville, and then a 4 p.m. first pitch against Rowlett. I will be there on the call for that game, and then turning right around at 7:30, we'll have a ball game over at Nimitz High School between Bowie and the Nimitz Vikings. So a triple header for yours truly. The first time that's ever happened for me while covering teams at high school or football level. So please be patient with my voice as we go through that. But Zach the Voice is going to be covering 3 games for you starting on Thursday. So thank you all for tuning in to this ball game, and thank you to John Wade Roofing for being our title partners and post-game show presenters again this season. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was the team MVP in 1976. He also played for TCU and UTA, earning all-conference and conference champion honors.
And after a brief stint with the Houston Oilers, he came back to the DFW area, started roofing, and never looked back. And now his football legacy is matched by his family and business legacy in the Arlington community. So the next time your family has roofing needs or gutters, painting, solar, soffit repair, you name it, the Wade family can do it. So give them a call at 817-265-5520 for the next time you need any of those services. Pops, any final thoughts before we call it an afternoon here in Hurst?
No, just an early season hiccups is what we're seeing right now, and it'll get ironed out. We've seen Coach Womack work with this team and figure things out as he goes, and I have confidence that'll happen again here.
Final score today, though, Bell 10, Arlington 0. Back in action Thursday at 1:30. For all of us here at Zach Arnold Productions, we thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast and for supporting local business and local broadcasters. We'll see you all on Thursday. But until then, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.